Everybody say hi, Jared.
Hi,
Jared.
Yes, I am, Sarah.
You're 175 pounds?
Yeah.
I'm not even going out there. I remember you talking about light and dark.
Light and dark. Rembrandt, the master of light and dark. Isn't that beautiful? A great example right there. The first one I show you. The rich old man from the parable.
I don't like it. I don't even. I could just close my eyes and take it.
Whatever.
No.
You can. I feel like you can close your eyes and paint.
Does he not have teeth?
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Rembrandt's next one.
Wait, what was that? Parable in the dark?
Rich old man from the parable. And now this one is called a woman bathing or woman bathing in stream. And I have this one hanging on my wall over there.
I like this one. Where's it at?
It's on the.
It's on the same page as the Mona Lisa and the other one, which I didn't count the pages. I think
Oh,
it's
woman
the
bathing.
sixth
Why
page.
isn't she
The
naked?
sixth page in the picture.
People didn't go naked.
Hey, wait, is Jared sticking on?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Jared. What's up,
It's
Miss
page 6 of the photo packet, Jared.
You said there's going to be nudity. I haven't seen
Well,
it.
You're blind. And it's page 2 in
I've
the
seen
info
guy
packet.
news. That's all. No girls.
The Birth of Venus and La Primavera, there was nudity.
She didn't have
You guys
no
don't even pay attention.
partial.
Nakedness.
I see no nipples.
I am A-okay with nakedness.
Okay. This is obviously Rembrandt again, and this is in the National Gallery in London, and my heart is so broken because I did not get to see this one. I ran back up the steps to see the Arnolfini Mary and the Da Vinci. When I ran back up the steps, I ran to my left, and I caught those, but I never saw the Rembrandt stuff.
is this why you were being chased?
I was chased out of the gallery after I touched the Van Goghs. Just in case you didn't know, you're not supposed to touch the painting. Anyway, tip for you.
That sounded completely insane.
Yeah,
Laugh. It was like crazy maniacal.
I know. I could have played the Wicked Witch.
Alright, where's this?
You were.
I know.
She's on the second page of the info packet.
I was watching Doctor Who and they're pronouncing Van Gogh's name like Van Gogh.
Oh, good Lord.
She's on the sixth page of the info
And
packet.
it was really funny because like his companion was a really big fan of him, and so she sits down and she filled the room full of sunflowers. She goes, "So you would paint these?" And he's like, "I don't really like sunflowers."
Miss Hanks, I think all the English teachers, the history teachers, they all need to get together and decide how they're going to pronounce your names.
No
Well,
kidding.
I pronounce them correctly, so I'm not sure about what's going on in your
So
own
it
life.
says remember.
With a southern accent, but it is correct.
It says remember.
Remembrance.
Love.
So it wasn't his wife, it was just his lover.
Yes. I was trying to avoid
We don't know her name.
conversation, but yes.
Do we not know her name?
I don't have her name written down. I apologize. I probably do know it somewhere, but I just looked and I didn't write it down. Let me see if I have it on another page.
It looks pretty good for just half a page.
Yeah. And you know what? Rembrandt had such love for her. He really did. You are going to see her face on almost every painting he does. That's a woman. He can't get away from it. You know, he paints her face. You know, it's there. And I think that's really sweet, you know.
I think it's kind of sickening.
I would like to have a painting of me one day.
I think it's sweet.
Like, I kind of want to throw it.
Well, the thing I love about this painting, and you know, I bought it, so I do have an affection for it. To me, when I look at this painting, I see how much love that Rembrandt had for her. I think he reflects that in her face. Just this, she has this soft, subtle look in her face, a little bit of a smile. I just see that he loves her. That's
Was
how I
he ever
feel.
married? Like, was he married? And just kind of
I don't know. He wasn't married, no, and I'm not sure if they ever got married. But that's what I feel when I look at this.
What?
Again, shadow and light, absolutely beautiful. The brightest part here is obviously on her, the white tunic that she wears there. She's looking down into the water where she's stepping through. Yes. Who? Mason. Why do you need him? No, we're in the middle of lecture. You can stand in the hall for about 2 seconds. All right, the Jewish bride. We're gonna look at this one next. This is one of my favorites.
It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Third
You're
page in
very
the info
pretty,
packet.
Tyler.
Those are available.
Third page on the info packet.
I beat you to it.
I know. I was telling her.
Got this too.
The Jewish practice.
Try to write
It is
different.
on. I can tell you which page it's on in your packet. It is on page 6 by the Mona Lisa.
So it's still on the same page.
On the info packet, if you'll go ahead and write this down, we'll move and look at the picture here. It is found in the Rijksmuseum, and the Rijksmuseum is in Amsterdam if you ever want to go. There's more to do in Amsterdam besides smoke pot.
Doubt it.
And buy hookers.
Right, thank you for that.
So
So
Miss
it's
Hanks,
on the
what's
left
your
of the Mona
favorite
Lisa.
painting? Yes. A very, very favorite. You can only choose one.
Oh, Lord have mercy, don't let me choose one.
Okay, you are going to an island to deck, and you have a mansion, but you can only take one. The rest are all going to get burnt.
Oh, don't say that. I'm gonna stab myself in
The
the
rest
heart.
are coming to my house. Fire. No, there's fire. They're all burning. Every single one. You can only take one. Save one. Go.
I can't do it. I don't know. I mean, I really have to think about it because, see, I have several in my house.
The
And
fire is sleeping. It's sleeping to
I
death.
have several here, and if I'm talking about painting, you know, I love sculpture also, but if it's just pure paint,
I think she'd be freaking out about the ones that are burning and not thinking about the ones she can be.
yeah, you made me sick. I really am having like a heart attack. Going, God, how do I save the others? I don't know.
Okay, they're not burning. They're coming to my house. Which one do you take to go all burn?
All gone. Oh.
No. Okay, well,
I
each
just can't
pick
get one of
one
my
painting.
drinks.
What painting would you choose? All of us are taking one painting. What painting would you choose?
Which one would I choose?
Yeah, there you go.
You're all gonna take one.
We're all coming with you. No, they're all burning still.
No, shut up, Emily. You're gonna make people sick.
Shut up, Emily.
They're all gonna be safe. You can only choose one. I'm
Just only one gets to go into your house.
While you pull this one up, I'm thinking about the one I'm getting. I would take the one that's in my house. And see, you know, the one that's in my house is the Birth of Venus. You know, I mean, it actually is in my house. I love it.
If you could have like the Mona Lisa or anything, like the original, in your house.
The
one.
original
Yeah.
Mona Lisa.
You're getting the original.
Of all paintings in any time period,
One.
one painting that you get to have in your house, what would it be?
Or your mansion or whatever.
Take a stick figure.
Why does Kira have to ask me?
Wow. Okay, now you've changed the ball game on me. It's an original.
Yeah, definitely original.
Okay,
I
I am
will
gonna
give you
throw
the
up. I
Mona Lisa
can't.
if that's what you want.
But the rest of them are still burning.
Yes. No, they're not burning.
No, we each
Stop
get
the
one
burning.
painting.
Stop
Each
the
gets to choose her
burning.
They're just gonna go into storage. That's two
Okay.
private
No one's
paintings
ever
for your
gonna see
home.
them again.
Okay.
There we
okay.
go. There we go. They're going into storage. Well, they'll never be seen again. So you only get to choose one to be seen.
Okay, can I cheat and have the entire Sistine Chapel ceiling?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's cheating.
Because that's
cheating.
considered one.
That's considered one work of art.
So yeah,
I
So
got it.
we're putting the Sistine Chapel.
I'll take the Sistine
she wants the ceiling on her house.
I'll take that.
We're just gonna move the entire Sistine
I'll
Chapel,
take
and you're gonna live in that. That's your new
They
house.
actually look really good.
I'll take it. Thank you.
They
Appreciate
burnt down.
that.
Sorry.
I mean, I love Mona, but me and her, she and I have had a lot of conversations. I know everything about her.
Ah! She's in storage and somebody else bought her.
No, God.
I'm never gonna see her
I
again.
can hear no more. I can hear no more. Okay. Let us focus for a moment on the Jewish bride, Rembrandt's Jewish bride. Gorgeous colors.
You definitely draw your sister to the red dress.
What's wrong
Yes,
with her
isn't
eyes?
that fantastic?
She's old.
Fantastic.
Crying.
Now, once again, I want you to look at her face, and even though a couple actually set for this is a couple that did set for this, does this not look a little bit like the lady we just looked at?
A little
Yeah.
Huh? You know, see her face?
bit. I was gonna say what's awkward is his hand. Like usually they're
Yeah,
like
I
on
know.
their belly.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this to you, okay?
On her.
Up a little bit
All
farther.
right, let me read the description to you, okay? Rembrandt's Jewish bride appears to be a moving study of the beauty of human hands, or a visual hymn to the sumptuous elegance of the colors red and yellow. This is a portrait of Miguel de Barrios, a Jewish poet, and his bride, Abigail de Peña. It's modeled on a painting that he did earlier, but anyway. The husband's gentle, caressing gesture is a tribute to his wife's fertility. That's what that's about.
Is she holding something in her other hand that's almost arm's stomach?
Yeah, you can barely
I
see it.
can't tell if she.
Here, yeah, you can barely see it.
Is she like holding a flower or
It
something?
it does look like that.
It looks more like a coin back.
It does. It does. It almost looks like she's holding her phone.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Can't really
I just
tell.
love those colors and the gold that's here.
I do, but his hand is just awkward. She should have left it on her belly.
Stroking her on the fertility.
He should have been rubbing it on her stomach like she's pregnant or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
She was not.
Fertility, that's what I think of.
Yeah. Okay, so now we move on to Rembrandt's Night Watch.
Well, it's on the same page.
Awesome.
It's also in Rikes.
Yes, it is. You don't have to write what's in red there unless you want to. That's a lot to write down.
Are those just the people?
Those are some hard names to spell.
It is a hard name to spell. That is actually what's in red is actually the actual title of the painting.
Oh, jeez.
Aren't you glad that we actually just call it the Night Watch?
Yep.
Risa, put your phone away, please.
How do you say that? The company is Captain Franz Banningcock.
Coke, yes.
Coke.
Yes. And Lieutenant William Van
Rutenhurst.
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 Probably wrong.
Probably Reutenhurst.
Yeah.
Well, it's close in English. I'm saying it in English.
Now, we are going to write down that it was actually painted in daylight. And I'm going to show it to you.
It's on page.
This is what it looks like. And in your photo packet,
Oh, that's actually good.
And it's on one of the last pages.
I don't know, who this by this thing?
Rembrandt. Yep, it's on page 11. You're right. It's on the last one.
11. Page 11 of the photo packet. Right.
Oh, it's the very last one. Besides.
Now, I've always, I've said from the beginning, Rembrandt is a master of light and dark. And we see that very well in this painting also. But this is a daylight scene and was not painted in the dark. It looks like a nighttime scene. The painting is now called the Night Watch. It is not a night scene. Was never intended to be a night scene. But interesting enough, the painting itself has faded, darkened for us in most interesting places, in all of the shadowy places that Rembrandt would have painted. But you see a child here. There's a dog. The scene is taking place in a daytime street, probably a little bit shady, so there was some shading going on there, but nothing as intense as what we see now. Not so much so that we now call it the Night Watch, and have for a very, very long time. But let me read to you what's going on here. This is the occasion of Queen Marie of France. She's going to visit Amsterdam in 1639. Rembrandt and 5 other artists were commissioned paintings for the Palace of the City Guards, for the Queen was going to stop in it on her tour of the city. In this painting, Captain Banningcock is ordering his men to get to their posts, for the illustrious guest is approaching. The light in the foreground and the presence of children show that the scene is taking place in daytime in a shady street. There's even a dog somewhere. Is this him right here? Can you
I
tell?
can't even tell.
No, you can't even see
Where's
it
the
very well.
child?
This is the child here.
Okay.
That kind of looks like a ghost. Like it's like,
I
oh,
know.
look, here I am.
Right. So you have this kind of a party type atmosphere, the parade type thing that's going on in the background, but you have the military guys who are trying to take their posts and be prepared because the Queen is coming down the street, and they have security that they have to be ready, and then you have the people that are excited, they all want to see the Queen, and then the captain is saying, hey, everybody get in their spot, But isn't it unique that the painting has darkened like that through the years? I think it's a beautiful painting in and of itself. It is supposed to be a very large painting. I have not seen this painting. I've not been to that museum, as I've already told you. We just didn't have enough time when we were in Amsterdam. We had a layover in Amsterdam. It was quite a long layover coming home from Germany, my son and I, but not long enough to leave the airport. 5 hours, and you would have thought, oh, you should have let them know. Not when you're flying internationally. Tried to get through the airport from one tunnel in all the way to the the next and go back through international. And then we were actually leaving from Amsterdam back to America, so you have to go through all the security again, you know, because if you're coming into America, they put you through a process again. And so didn't get a chance to. 5 hours just wasn't enough to leave and come back. But I really, really wanted to go to the racks. That was hard for me not to be able to go. But on my list, right, bucket list, still things to do. 2 places that are really important for me to go are, actually there's 3. I just thought of the third. But sorry, Milan, Amsterdam because of the racks, and Brussels. So I got 3 places I gotta hit.
I want to go see some castles.
I've always wanted to go to Brussels. My grandma lived kind of near there.
I
She
just
lives
so I
in
can go to
Sussex.
the castle. But
And for me, it's all about art. So that's 3 things I must see. I have seen now you know, almost everything that I want to see and I'm passionate about seeing. So I'm really happy about that, except for those 3 places. And of those 3, the most important to me is Milan. So I still have yet a
You
little
still
bit
got
to
a
go.
long life to live, Miss Hanks.
That's right. That's right. Little ways to go. I'll try to fit some of those in. All right, now we're going to move on to one of my favorite artists. Oh my God, this is a German artist. He was called the Leonardo of the North. His name is Albrecht Dürer. And this is what he looked like as a young man. This is actually a painting that he did and sent home to his betrothed when he was gone and studying art. He was gone for like 2 years. And he sent this painting home to her to let her know that he was still faithful to her. That is what the plant that he's holding in his hand, I don't remember the name of the plant, I apologize, but it means faithful.
It looks like he's supposed to be in a Shakespeare play.
Yes, it does look like that. I know the fashion may seem odd to you, but this is typical Renaissance fashion. So don't let that put you off.
When I think Renaissance fashion, I think those big poofy arms.
Yeah. Not sure about what's happening with the hat up there, but okay.
Looks like he's trying to have some dreads.
I thought it was a mistake.
Dürer is just amazing. One of the things that's really unique about Dürer is his signature, and it's the AD, the famous AD that you see here, the Gothic script AD. You will see the AD on every painting that Dürer did. You'll find it somewhere, or his woodcuts. Dürer was famous for his woodcuts. He was a carver. He did silversmithing and these kinds of things also. The woodcuts are probably the thing he's most famous for, besides his painting. And even the woodcuts have the famous AD. So if you're ever at a garage sale or a flea market and you see the AD, they do not know what they have and buy it. Okay? Just go ahead and take that. Because they don't know what that is, you know. It doesn't matter if you like it, take it. Okay? Because it's a Dürer, for God's sake. They don't know, you know. That happens, right? You hear that crap all the time. They found this at flea market. It's worth $2 million.
Like those, whatever they're called,
I just
That-
forged his
storage wars.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
They
right.
go in, they go to those people, and they know how much each thing is worth.
Right.
And so they spend like $200 on this, and it's worth like $1 million.
Right, yeah. I want that. Why didn't that happen to me? I don't understand. Well, Dürer, though, actually his techniques and stuff, he is still looked at today as the best in the world in the woodcutting. Okay? People still look back at how he did things and they try to learn from him. The woodcutting was just amazing. In fact, I'm going to show you at least 2, I think, of the woodcuts, maybe more than that. And you won't believe they're actually woodcuts, but they are. Now, this is another one I have in my house. I have a small version of this because I bought it when I was in Nuremberg, which is where Dürer was from Nuremberg. He lived in Nuremberg, yes.
oh my gosh, our foreign exchange student was from.
Oh, yeah,
I
really?
never knew that. Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
She was
yeah.
here 5 years ago.
Oh, well, Nuremberg, Germany. That is the home of Dürer.
I wish this was color.
So when I went, oh, no, I'm sorry. Couldn't afford to go back for you. But when we come back from lunch, I'll tell you more about it.
I can't even find it.
My mind is so blown right now. They totally totally
Oh, okay.
blown.
Oh, gotta bring her back to
We're going to lunch, Jared. This is the end of session 1.